Hi, my name is Kristen Walter, and I am the CEO of Kids Read Now. Welcome to the Kids Read Now warehouse. This is where we have about 1 million books that go through our warehouse. They're on our shelves in the back. They are picked by our team and labeled so that each child who's chosen a book to read this summer is sent that book, and it all starts right here. I really wanted to work for an organization that fed my personal mission of serving children and doing what's best for kids. And when I saw the work that Kids Read Now does of mailing books home to children, creating a book-rich environment, it's a mission I felt like I aligned very well with. So I'm happy to speak with you here today about some of the ways that we support summer reading, families, and bilingual learners. Summer reading is the main core component of our program. We know that kids can lose ground that teachers have worked so hard to help them gain over the school year. So when we think about summer reading, we really want to help continue that habit of reading and habit of learning. We actually have a great study on our website that talks about how students who enrolled in the Kids Read Now program actually had learning gains over the summer compared to their peers. So not only did we stop the summer slide for that group of children, we actually accelerated some of the learning that they had over the summer before they entered into the school year. One of the other great components of our summer reading program is that students choose the books that they are going to receive throughout the year. And each of those books has parent engagement prompts so that children and families can speak together about what they've read. Most of the children that we serve live in a book desert, so it's very hard for them to have access to books, or they live in a family where it's very hard to spend discretionary funds on purchasing books. And so the fact that we're able to provide an environment where children receive books in the mail, they're books that a child has chosen themselves, the books come once a week, and then the child can keep those books forever. We don't ask for those books back. It's not an exchange program. Children who live in a book-rich environment tend to do better than children who don't live in a book-rich environment. And so it's one of the ways that we support learning in the home throughout the summer. We love to offer books that are bilingual because it does give parents a choice as to what language they'd like to read in with their child at home. We know that different families look different ways and families have different structures. So in some families, parents sit and read with their children. In other families, if a parent is working 2 or 3 jobs, it's very difficult to find time to always sit and read. So if a child is reading while you're cooking dinner, you can still ask them about what they've read in your home language. One of the other reasons that we offer a bilingual collection of books is so that children can expand their vocabulary and their background knowledge in their home language, so that when they come to school and they are learning and speaking in English, they have something sticky to apply all of that new knowledge to. One of the ways that we engage our bilingual families is we provide prompts in the form of our discovery sheets in the front of every book. So if a family is reading a bilingual book, they have the discovery sheet in English and in Spanish. If a family speaks a language other than Spanish, they can log into our application and see those parent prompts in about 100 languages. So at Kids Read Now, we really focus on family engagement and families reading together outside of the school day. So we want to build on all of those great skills our teachers have taught children and then help extend that learning beyond the bell. One of the most important things that we offer to our partners is a resource guide, and that resource guide is rich with parent tips on ways to read with your child, but one of my favorite ways for parents to engage with their children is through play. When we incorporate play, especially in literacy development, we are adding so many ways for a child to have feedback on their learning. The more you speak with your child, the more you're giving them access to advanced vocabulary, allowing them to speak about what they've read. Our discovery sheets have a 4th question, and that 4th question is a creativity question. So it may be that you've read a book, but then we ask you to draw a picture that extends the story, or that might change the ending of the story. And that's another way for your child to talk about what they've been reading without it feeling very heavy or super academic, but it does give them a chance to use the vocabulary that they've learned in the book. Kids Read Now really has a mission of supporting schools and their family engagement components. We send a book home that a child has chosen. We enroll that child in the program. We take care of messaging the families to make sure they know their book is coming. If there is a problem with the book, the families work with us and we resolve those problems very quickly. We also send notifications to our families to read with their children. And then we encouraged our families to report back that the book was read. That's a metric that we provide all of our school partners so that they can really come alongside and sing the praises of their families who have been reading with their children all along. It's also another data piece that schools can provide as an artifact that they are supporting family engagement outside of the school day. One of the reasons that we loved the idea of mailing books home to children is because we provide an opportunity for families to read together. So you have a multi-generational experience at home for reading. We have a great story about a grandfather and a child. The grandfather was keeping the child over the summer, and every week when he got his book, they read that book together. What we didn't know at the time was that the grandfather also had low access to his own literacy skills. And so the more he read with his grandchild, the more he was practicing his own reading skills. And so he wrote us this beautiful letter at the end of the summer saying that he felt like his own reading had improved. And having those prompts in there for him to be able to have these lovely conversations, but it helped strengthen that bond between grandfather and grandson throughout the summer and just gave them another avenue to explore books together.